when the sound of the grinding is low. This is from Ecclesiastes 12 verse 4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. When you look up the word grinding, the word literally means to work with the hands at the mill. So when we say, in this time we say you on the grind, it means you working, you on your slave, you at the plantation, you working. So when it says here the grinding is low, it's talking about there's very few jobs. Anyway, what you're looking at is a YouTube page called EarthCam, and I subscribe to this so I get whatever videos pop up. They have various cameras set up, not just in New York. This, by the way, is downtown Manhattan. This has got to be 46th Street, Broadway. You got Broadway and 7th that kind of crisscross each other. Anyway, it says Ecclesiastes 12 verse 4, and the door shall be shut, meaning there's not going to be any jobs, or very few jobs in the streets when the sound of the grinding working is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird early in the morning, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Now this current music today is complete crap. Complete crap. You know, the Apostle Gabar, he's in the music, and he always says, the best era to him as far as music is concerned was the 70s and the 80s. And, you know, we'll be watching something, boxing match or something, a couple of us, and every time there's a commercial, the background music is always normally a song from the 70s or the 80s. And he'll say, see, there it goes again. That's a song from the 70s. Or there it goes again. That's a song from the 80s. That's when music was music. Now this current, every once in a while you get some good singers, but the music is not what it used to be. As the scriptures say, it says, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Low quality music. Low quality entertainment. Anyway, getting back to this here, this has to be 46. You have, like I said, a crisscross. You have Broadway and 7th. And it's 8:20 a.m. Today is a Wednesday. Today's date is February, so-called February 24th, 2021, the year of the hastening of the coming of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. Now, me and Gabar work down there. We work for this company. We work for a couple of companies, but we work for one company called Mobile. Now, at that particular company, the owners of the company were two so-called Jews, Paul and Dave. And we had to get, each driver had to get a road name. So my road name was Tahar. Gabar's road name was Gabar. When Orion Lab was working down there, his road name was Orion Lab. So when these so-called Jews had to call us about a delivery, picking up or whatever, they had to call us Tahar. So they knew me. They knew me by the name Tahar, and we used to salute each other right in front of the bosses. And they knew about they didn't have no problem as long as you went in there and you did your work. They ain't had no problem with you, man. You know, all this stuff about, oh, what if my boss see me? Man, I wish my boss would see me. You know, speaking on the street. Shit, he might give me a raise out of you know, fear. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud, basically. But I remember at this particular time, we're talking almost 8:30 in the morning. There'll be nothing but cars, people. I mean, even on a Sunday, if you go back even a year, 2 years, you know, the last time it was close to this condition was when the World Trade Center's towers went down. A lot of businesses suffered. The job that we were working at, there was hardly no work. You sitting in the office waiting for the next job. But and even after the World Trade Centers went down, it was more traffic than this. This right here is supposed to be rush hour in Midtown Manhattan, smack dab in the middle of the earth. You would see a whole bunch of yellow cabs. You would see a whole bunch of trucks. And you would see bumper to bumper traffic and people all over the place. And this reminds me of the 70s in London, England. And if you go to YouTube and you put in 70s London, England, you're gonna that's when the sterling, which is England's dollar, it was called the sterling. You had a thing called hyperinflation. They kept putting the sterling into circulation. In other words, they kept printing money or putting money into the system just like they're doing right now. And you thought 2020 was a bad year. 2021 is going to be worse. You're going to be wishing for 2020 all over again. Anyway, when you go to these videos, the 70s, London, England, there was garbage piled up. There was rats. They had a problem with rats, which brings diseases. The Black Death or the Black Plague came by way of rats that were infected by, I believe they were mosquitoes. You got to go into the history of that. And that's the worst pandemic in the history of mankind. The second was the Spanish flu. And this is supposed to be the third, which you that are in the know is really going on. And this is happening because we're coming to a thing called the Great Reset. See, now these prophetic scriptures are supposed to be talked about, broken down. And if you notice, I've been going into back into the book of Revelation. I did a complete breakdown on Revelation, the 12th chapter, because of Elder Barak from the HODC did a breakdown and totally botched the whole breakdown. I mean, completely broke it down, completely wrong. He was totally off. Just made it up as he was going. That shows you that these guys are not studying the prophetic parts of the scriptures. See, the rest of the scriptures you can actually read. So you want to get a topic together on the wicked. All you got to do is take the word wicked, word search, do a word search, go to concordance, and you get all of the scriptures you want on the wicked. You know, then you can put in the word Edom, and you get all the scriptures, and then you just basically, you know, when you teach and you just bring out those scriptures, those precepts. But the prophetic scriptures, the Spirit has to be working with you, and you have to go over it over and over again. Look at this, man. This is like 8:30 in the morning, 8:25 in the morning about. And this is Midtown Manhattan. This is the right a couple of blocks down is called the Crossroads of the World, in the oikoumene sense, where we used to speak at the crossroads of the world, meaning this is where everything in the world, every idea meets at this cross section. Like you have people that dream about coming to America and going to New York and going to Times Square. Oh, this place is dead, man. This place is dead. Anyway, I'm not going to say too much more. Like I said, I'm just thinking out loud. You know, we used to speak down here. Yeah, we don't speak down here no more. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. Anyway, like I said before, your concentration now is you deal with the scriptures, but the prophecies are coming to pass. We're at the end of this thing. Daniel, the 2nd chapter, which is one of my favorite scriptures, that gives you, Daniel, the 2nd chapter, gives you a timeline of where are we located as far as prophecy is concerned. Well, we're at the part of the bottom of that statue, of that standing image, which is the feet of it, part iron and part miry clay. And the feet are breaking up, the toes are breaking up. The first indication of that was the Brexit. And then it speaks about our Lord coming back in the form of a stone or rock. You know, it says in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, Ezra saw this mountain that the Lord was on. But it wasn't a mountain, it was a gigantic ship. And we believe, based upon Revelation, the 11th chapter, and somebody needs to do a breakdown on that. I may do it, maybe somebody else. But anyway, it says when the Lord comes back that we're going to be delivered into one ship. Now there's other scriptures that say that the angels are going to take us up, Psalm 91, Matthew 24, which are all prophetic scriptures. Psalm 91 is a prophetic scriptures. Most of the Psalms are prophecies. The book of Job is a series of events that Job went through, but it's also prophetic scriptures. Example, Job, the 20th chapter. You can read Job 20, 21, 22, 20, 24. 24 is prophetic. So we're in the time of these last prophecies to come to pass. And before the destruction comes, and I keep saying it, I'm going to continue to say it, they're going to introduce to you the mark of the beast, which goes into the hour of temptation. Revelation 3 verse 10 to the 12th verse, starting at the 10th verse. The hour of temptation is when you're confronted with the fact as to whether you're going to take the mark or not. And these other camps are going off. These other camps that teach that the mark of the beast is something other than the microchip, the Most High is not dealing with them 100%. So they really can't put, they're thinking that the Lord is going to come back and deliver them, but they don't realize that they're going to be tested as to whether the whole world's going to be tried. Going back to Revelation 3 verse 10. They're going to be tested as to whether they're going to take that chip or not. And if you do take that chip, which is the mark of the beast, which is physical, in your right hand, left hand, forehead, butt cheek, you are going to be destroyed pursuant to Revelation 14 verse 9. I keep saying this. Revelation 14, you got to keep pushing these prophetic scriptures. You got to keep pushing these prophetic scriptures. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.